we come back to democracy, development and good governance once again when we are in the, let me contextualize it in contemporary India. That is, in today's India, 2022, post-COVID, what should be, what do you understand by models of democracy? What do you understand by models of development? And what do you understand by models of good governance in, let's say, 2022 India? That's what makes sense to all the young audience here, our students who are not much interested in history. They'd rather we talk in contemporary terms, and what does democracy mean to you? What does development mean to you? What does welfareism or welfare state mean to you? And what does good governance mean to you today? Because these concepts are not just concepts. They are actually, as I said, they were actualized first time in 20th century and today also in 21st century. You might have heard a lot of talk surrounding these concepts. As far as India is concerned, 75 in our 1950 constitution, I repeat, largest, lengthiest constitution in the world, coming from a third world country at that point of time. Just think of the vision of our founding fathers. They talked of democracy definitely as an evolving project. Democracy, they didn't have a fixed vision of these are the institutions, there is election commission, there are right to vote, right to speech, government at two-tier level, written and rigid constitution, done. That's your definition of democracy. If you have it, an Indian constitution gave it to you in 1950, then you are a democracy forever. They could have rested with laurels, but they did not. They give you another vision, saying as and when state capacity increases, read part 4 of the constitution again, please give the following rights to your people. And we have done exactly that. 1980 onwards, I will say, is the big divide in democracy. I'm not talking of economy now. Now, economy, of course, 1990 is the big divide from command and control to new economic policies. And today we have again not changed much. We are still into the era of market, regulatory state and globalization. So in political economy terms, I will not say there is a big change happening, except that there is a talk after COVID, during COVID and after COVID today, of the centrality of the state coming back into the political discourse in India today. Earlier it was less and less of state. State has become irrelevant. Let the state be rolled up. Let the market prevail. We are doing good. Poverty has gone down by all counts, and growth rates are going up. So let us discard the state or bring it down to a minimal regulatory level. After COVID and during COVID, as I said, the centrality of the Indian state was understood. In a medical health emergency, nobody was looking at private sector for delivering anything. Everybody was looking at Indian state to save us from COVID. What kind of health policies we should have? What to do about digital divide when everything is gone online? How will poor children study in government schools without computer? What will happen to migrant laborers when they lose everything and they have to go back to the state? Who will feed them? Who will give them jobs? One ration card, one nation, one ration card, that means you attack the most major, and I'm saying this with again a lot of conviction. The greatest problem of 75-year-old Indian democracy is and I've talked about it in several fora, the problem of differentiated citizen entitlements. This is a running problem in 75 years. Differentiated citizen entitlements. Now you know what democracy means. Universal, civil, political, if you want to give second generation human rights, social, economic, but it has to be given equally to all. You are a citizen who has you are a moral agent to receive entitlements from the state, but the state has to give it to you equally. So one citizen is equal to another. In theory, in principle, it has been given in Indian Constitution. Absolutely, question of universal rights to all to be given equally and gender parity. That is there because that is the democratic principle. Constitutionally, it has been given. But in reality, it depends on the good governance of 28 states of India, and therein I will come right to the Indian states. You can't blame the center for everything. The responsibility of good governance when it comes to development is 80% that of states. All the 80% of development expenditures, of what we call categorized as development expenditure, 80% is spent by and in states of India, 28 states of India. So, if you happen to belong to certain states of India, you get a better package of public goods and services because of good governance in those states. And if you happen to belong to some other states of India, you will get another package of public goods and services because of bad governance, indifferent governance, moderate governance, certainly not good governance. So, when SDG India report was published by Niti Aayog, or Human Development India report is published by Niti Aayog, or forget about Niti Aayog if you don't like it as a government agency, there are many other think tanks and NGOs which have brought out comparative development of states indicators, development indicators are laid down. You compare the state outcomes in development sector and social sectors, and you will know and you will want to know why this unevenness of development, because there is no universalism of outcomes. The citizen who is an Indian citizen happens to reside in some state or the other, has to reside in one state out of the 28, will be served differently by his state government because of lack of good governance. So the same national flagship schemes, PDS, Nariga, Ayushman Bharat, midday meal scheme, any what is called rural health mission, national rural health mission, there are many national flagship schemes of Government of India. Go to their websites and see the state reports. Why is it that the same national flagship schemes